Hi Astro friends, Melanie here with the Astro Weather for the week, for the Sphinxy week of the year, since the Sun will move from Leo into Virgo. And this is the Sphinx Point in astrology, the Leo-Virgo cusp. Why so? Because, like the Sphinx, this is all about self-awareness. Know thyself, love thyself, and it can come from, it can start either way. It can start from self-love, turns into self-awareness, turns into self-knowledge, or it can come from the self-awareness, knowing who we truly are, and from that naturally love and love of the self, of the bigger self especially, will arise. So this is the time where the passionate, heart-centered, generous, expressive, radiant Leo turns into the Virgo world. What is the Virgo world? Service also. Service, but not necessarily self-serving. Service to the greater self and service from the greater self. And bringing our heart, bringing our privilege too into service, into helping other people, and into alignment. Bring ourselves into alignment, into being in the temple of wholeness, in the temple of wellness, and that is very much that continuum of Leo to Virgo. Even symbolically speaking, right? It's like the queen, the Leo, strong Leo queen is being initiated into being a priestess, being turning her privilege, turning her special position and all her gifts again into spiritual practice, into helping also, right? And being of service to the divine especially. Now, right after the Sun enters Virgo this year, less than 10 hours after that solar ingress, it's called, into Virgo, which will be at 1:34 p.m. on Friday the 22nd. So at 11:07 p.m. will be the cuspy Virgo new moon already. And this Virgo season will see two new moons framing the Virgo season. This first one on 22nd of August could be the 23rd for you. Yes, of course, from Mountain Daylight Savings Time eastward, it is the 23rd, but it is literally the first day of Virgo. And that's the first new moon in Virgo. And then there will be another one framing Virgo on the outgoing side, so on the 21st of September, the last day of Virgo before the fall equinox, and that will be also a partial solar eclipse. So a really important Virgo season is coming up, and in the center of the Virgo season will be the Pisces Virgo full moon on the 7th of September, and that will be a total lunar eclipse. So let's stick with this week's astro weather. This is just a little preview in that regard. What's on the horizon, and so this Virgo cuspy Virgo new moon will have more Virgo features, and I show you what I mean by that. Here is the chart for her. Can you see that configuration to the new moon? He is right on the cusp of Virgo, the first degree, Sun and Moon together, Sphinx Point it is. And we have this configuration of two green lines forming this elongated triangle. It's a projection figure, so the projector can go out to the screen here. And it's also a search figure. And this is like a dowsing rod, right? So you have these two handlebars here. And then here is the direction. Here's where we orient. We are adjusting, right? And this is the apex of a so-called yod, Y-O-D. It's a Hebrew word, and that means finger or hand. And it's also known to be the finger of God and the celestial pointer. In this case, very special because it is a celestial pointer to the new moon, right on the Sphinx Point. So it's about being in self-awareness, in conscious self-awareness, while we're also uniting the feminine and masculine of the new moon. And and with that, so that is basically the orientation and where it's at at this point, while we are also transitioning into the new. An old world is ending, a literally brand new paradigm is beginning as Saturn and Neptune are freshly in Aries, although they're both retrograde. So we're in the preparation phase. It's not quite happening yet, but the signs are, the writing is on the wall. And we have also Pluto, also retrograde in early Aquarius. So this is also the power of the people, the power of humanity in this new world, a new era that is in the making. And as I said, so it's really instrumental, literally, to have this new moon energy in place, that we all can contribute from the Aquarius side, and we can also renew ourselves and help with the renewal by being in this conscious self-awareness. So I call the motto of the new moon in alignment with your cosmic assignment. So what might be your assignment? The the Leo Virgo cusp is also has a lot to do with integrity. So late Leo has a Sag undertone, early Virgo a Capricorn undertone. So this is actually then an indirect connection to winter solstice, where it's a lot about integrity, being in integrity. So really offering what we offering whatever can help a situation from love, from strength, not from a place of all sorts of motivation. That could be like wanting to be a savior, or resentment, or envy, or all sorts of motivations can bring us to do the work, but it's not the work of love. It's not the work of integrity and of cosmic assignment, likely either. So, this is now taking the summer, being in the harvest phase of the full strong summer glow that is integrating right now, and harvesting all the gifts of summer, harvesting maybe also gifts of the season in life, and bringing those into our temple of integrity. And it can also be a good phase, very practically speaking, to do some work that we have, it hasn't, the time, the energy hasn't been right yet for it, especially also with all this Mercury retrograde currently and recently. Mercury is now out of the post-retro storm, and that's a slow stationary phase when Mercury goes back from retrograde to forward. It's like a U-turn, but it's a slow gear shift. And we're out of that since the 17th, so Mercury can pick up pace. Still in Leo until September 2nd. And this is yet also Venus will enter Leo, by the way. So there is still, although Virgo season starts, and we'll definitely see a shift when the 22nd rolls around and the sun goes into Virgo, the dark to new moon goes into Virgo, and new moon happens in the evening. Definitely significant day, shifting, a strong shift from Leo to Virgo. But as I said, Mercury is still in Virgo, Mercury is still in Leo, and Venus will enter Leo as well. So that's not going to happen until the 25th, but yeah, it's on the horizon. Venus will go into Leo and be there until September 19th. This is a lot about love thyself, show thy love, right? So we are leading, so ahead of that of Venus is the sun, also the moon in this case. Actually, Venus and moon were together yesterday with Jupiter, very beautiful. And now the Virgo energy is taking the lead while Venus goes into Leo. So it's also um, offering something that is really coming from the heart and coming from authentic and genuine self love and radiating that out into the world. So, love yourself and show your love is the theme with Venus in Leo. Right at the beginning, when Venus enters Leo, she will make quite a few aspects. Immediately, the opposition, the most powerful one, of course, is the opposition with Pluto on the 26th, the day after she enters Leo. And on the same day and evening, and already on the evening of 25th, we have Venus also in fire trine with Saturn retro in Aries, close to Neptune retro in Aries, also sextile to Uranus in early Gemini. So there's a lot going on at the beginning of signs at this point from the slow moving planets. And when a planet enters a new sign, like Venus entering Leo, she will make immediately these alignments with those slow moving planets early in the signs. So there's a lot going on right at the when she enters the stage, right? And so what's with that dynamic even, right? We're having the polarity, which we see also in the new moon chart, of course, right? We have the polarity of Venus in here still end of Cancer, but about to go into Leo, with Pluto in early Aquarius. So we have here a juxtaposition of the bigger changes, the bigger evolution in society, and then we have here a very personal expression, which is also important. We need to, in balance to all the societal turmoil and what's going on with humanity at large, we need at this point also to be creative and do something for ourselves and from a strong, cultivating the strong heart energy is beautiful. And also be playful, be silly. Yesterday I had a befriended Leo client online in a session, and we did tarot cards, as I always do offer in the sessions, tarot cards, animal spirit cards, goddess cards. So monkey energy came up. Monkey energy being, of course, also related to the residual Mercury post retro in Leo, and that playful, joyful energy is where, and also it's like a child energy. It's like the inner child wants to be seen and loved, and that is also a beautiful antidote and complement and balance to the deeper changes that again have to do with bigger systems. Then she is in when Venus enters Leo, she will be also in on good terms, in a very supportive connection, fire trine with Saturn and Neptune in early Aries. So this Leo impulse is supporting also with an Aries undertone in early Leo, is also supporting this whole new world in the making. Right? So maybe it means to you that you have been sacrificing yourself. You have been putting yourself in the back burner. You have been repressing your needs and desires. This is a time to rediscover those. You are the number one, and when you are happy, when you are in a good place, when you are in a joyful place. You can also be a better person, right, in the world. So, and then you can also, this is all about new impulses from the Saturn side, from the Aries side, and being responsible for that, being responsible for your new journey here, and setting out and starting a new avenue that you might want to try out. It doesn't have to work out the first time. Aries is about getting things going and the courage of just doing it, not giving up and not saying, oh my, this is someday, or sitting on the fence, actually giving things a try, see what happens. Something is always alive, basically. And yeah, so as you know, typically we're looking back at situations where we might have been hesitant and said, I'm glad I did it. At least I saw what it's like, and that's very much apropos Aries. So Aries is starter energy, is new impulses, and as I said, in a positive way, not like being impulsive, can be also Aries, but setting the tone for something new. And it's also a transition, and maybe even spiritual teachings, which is also very apropos Saturn Neptune, can help us with that. And they can have to do with releasing attachments, right? So there might be all sorts of reasons why we are not stepping out into the new, and it can have to do with being too, yeah, self-sabotaging, right? So Venus in Leo helps for sure with that. Then she also connects, as will the new moon, actually more prominently so. Venus will connect with Uranus here in early Gemini in a sextile, and the new moon will have a square with that Uranus in early Gemini. So this one actually really brings out finally this Uranus energy, which hasn't come on board so much astro energetically yet, although we'll feel it. It's been on since July 7th until November 7th. And what's this about? I call it revolutionary alchemy. Why? Because Uranus is a revolutionary energy. It's a game changer. It's a paradigm shift. It gets us out of the box, out of the norm, and yeah, it mixes things up, right? So it is good for surprises, also sometimes for shocks, and expect the unexpected. This is all, since it has to do with, from a Gemini perspective, with the mind, with news, with information, with science too. All right. So there can be real paradigm shifts in that regard. This can be also about breaking news, so to say, and we don't want to get totally derailed by all these events, which can also happen with Uranus in Gemini. But we want to also break free from the mind that is always going into this polarity, duality, into the this and that, into division even, right? And is susceptible to division implant energy, so to say, that keeps us busy and keeps us apart. So here's also where the spiritual practice could kick in terms of self-awareness. So you are not this or that, and don't have to buy into all these diverse, divisive. Diverse is cool, but divisive not so much. Divisive points of view, and constantly in this kind of schizophrenic mind, right? So we don't want to be hooked on that, although it can be a thrill with Uranus to be, oh wow, have you heard about this? What about that now? And of course that is stimulating, but can be also exhausting actually for the mind. Now, at the same time, both the Virgo and Gemini, where the square happens for the new moon, right? So here it is. They're ruled by Mercury, so Mercury is indirectly quite active in this new moon, and so we're post retro, and we have hopefully also learned to not have the mind being in charge and not being the master, but being the assistant, being the messenger, and yeah. So also now let's look a little bit at the decanates. I already alluded to it. We're in the last decanate, last 10 degrees, last 10 days of Leo, which has a Sagittarius undertones. You can also look back at the last week with that. So that has been a lot about the path of the heart. Both Leo and Sagittarius have a lot to do with the heart, different ways. So it's a passionate energy, but it's also a truthful energy. Sag is a lot about the truth and the direction, and when your heart is in it, when your passion is in it, the path can open. So this kind of interface. And then we're moving into the first decanate of Virgo, which has a Capricorn energy. So from double fire to double earth. So we're really grounding energy. Spirit turns into and is being transmuted, you could say, and a natural progress from spirit to matter, right? So people always talk about manifestation as well. And so how does spirit and the heart, how do not the mind, right? So we often confuse that. How does spirit and the heart manifest what shows up in so-called real life, and how can we work with that, and how is this bringing us back into alignment or creating more problems to solve, which can be also a Virgo theme. Speaking of the problem focused Virgo, we have currently, since end of January, the South Node in Virgo. This is like the North Node, South Node dynamic is on for 1.5 years. And I would have talked about it in different videos, of course, whenever it's relevant. And now we're coming into the eclipse season. So the eclipses bring out the nodes. And so as we're going into the season, into the zodiac month of the South Node currently, Virgo, right? We are also, with South Node, we're noticing also where energy needs to be released. Otherwise, it gets a bit too much on that end. We lose energy, in fact, also when we overdo it. When we overdo certain tendencies which are sort of second nature and easy, but or default even, right? But at the same time, not so helpful, in fact. What do I mean by that? When we are too focused on the problem or on all these little things that can go or are going wrong, and they keep us constantly busy, right? So all of that is a natural tendency at this time in this world. I know and have experienced, but at the same time, we need to fill up our cup on the other side of the spectrum, and that is Pisces, where also the full moon will be on the 7th of September, and that is fulfillment, literally. This is about connection. It is about oneness, not being this separate being that is always busy doing stuff, basically the human doing, but stepping into this beingness that is about connection, that can also simply mean relaxing, regenerating, and getting all the worries and concerns out of your mind. And it's like a reset, like when you are by or in the water, right? So it can be also music, art, anything that connects, right? And from that connection, also the issues, so to say, of Virgo can be met, can be addressed in a different way. So yeah, Virgo month with South Node in Virgo, accentuated of course with the eclipses. But even this new moon brings a little bit of that out already. Then, so decanates, and as I said, the early Virgo has a Capricorn undertone, so that is also about integrity, doing the work, but not doing things the hard way, right? And being of service and doing something meaningful and significant and something that has priority. Then we're having the moon throughout the week. We're now, of course, in the waning moon phase before the new moon. The moon has just entered Leo this afternoon. Today is the 20th of August. Moon has entered Leo at 4:17 p.m. and will be in Leo for the rest of the day, for all tomorrow 21st, and until even Friday most of the day, until 10:24 p.m. However, as I said, it's a waning / dark moon in Leo in this case. So there is also an integration of the whole Leo season, which effectively started with the Leo new moon, which was on the 25th, was it? Okay, let me verify, of July, right? So 24th, and pretty much around the world. And that one initiated the Leo season, and also the Mayan New Year, which started on the 26th of July. We're now in the Mayan year of the yellow resonant seed. So resonant seed in combination is even terminologically perfectly an expression and a link between Pisces and Virgo. Because Virgo is a lot about seeds, and new moon even, right? Planting seeds and tending to seeds, very much oriented towards service to the earth. And then the resonance is a theme from Pisces. This is about connecting and planting seeds that connect us with each other, connect us with the cosmos, connect us with this time, connect us with love. So whatever resonates for you, plant seeds with that. This is literally the first new moon since the Mayan New Year of the yellow resonant seed started. Then we have the moon going into Virgo, and on the 22nd, just before new moon. So the moon will enter Virgo at 10:24 p.m. and the new moon will be at 11:07. So that's just a bit more than half an hour. And so that is also that Sphinx Point energy, Leo Virgo again, that we see from the sun. We see that from the moon shortly afterwards. So it's about, again, like a service, right? So we're coming from this place of play, even you could say, summer, play, fun, back to what gives our life meaning through being of service and doing something practical that is also making the world a better place. And the moon will be new at 11:07 p.m. and will be in Leo all day Saturday. So Saturday will be clearly that new moon day around the world. And so anything, any ceremony, anything you'd like to offer in service to that would be great. I also see I might go to the Japanese festival on the 23rd here in Victoria. There's all these sacred, I should say, spiritual practices coming out of Japan that are being celebrated and demonstrated. This is very apropos Leo Virgo, right? So it is not just a show, it's also something that is a practice, which is Leo, right? So like the practice of Ikebana, the practice of Zen, the practice of karate, the practice, all of the judo, and so on, right? It's do always means the path, and the path is of course a practice. So yeah, very apropos. Japan has quite a Virgo and also Scorpio energy to it. Then we have the 24th, still the moon in Virgo. 25th, the moon will go into newly waxing young moon, will go into Libra in the morning, be in Libra on the 26th, Tuesday. And on Wednesday, this is the last day of this Astro week, the moon will go from Libra to Scorpio. So the Libra moon and the newly waxing Libra moon after the Virgo new moon has a lot to do with beauty, design, and art, right? Art and culture. This is also the harvest season is starting, and with that, lots of cultural events and festivals. Very apropos that, and also it's the translation or the transition from the being whole, complete, doing one's own work, being in alignment with oneself, not needing a partner, to stepping out and connecting with the other. It's very apropos Libra. Of course, when the moon is in Libra, she will meet Mars, which is now in Libra, and that will be the case on the where is it? Okay, moon will meet Mars. Don't see it here. It's not marked in my calendar. That's strange. Moon Mars. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay, so in the early morning of the 26th. And we've seen already over the last week these meetings and negotiations regarding peace in Ukraine. So that's very apropos. Mars in Libra versus, and in polarity too, in opposition it was, with Saturn and Neptune in early Aries, retrograde. So we had this polarity this week, and the moon will, after new moon, will meet Mars. So I suspect when the moon comes in, there is more of a momentum, especially also after the new moon, to do something about peace agreements, and to find lasting peace agreements that naturally end the war, and give securities about that, which is also Saturn in retrograde in Aries. No more war. How can war be prevented rather than from a Neptune perspective go spread even further? And so yeah, Mars in Libra until end of September. This is a prime time for, I'm just checking when Mars enters Scorpio. Yeah, end of it's around the 22nd of September. So it's a prime time now to passionately pursue peace, art, culture, but of course Mars per se is not so suited for Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus and Mars rules Aries. So it's kind of a bit of an awkward position. It can also give a lot of energy, generate a lot of energy into this whole strategic play, strategizing, sitting on a fence, not really deciding, maybe only once Mars actually enters Scorpio. So let's see what happens with that. And yeah, that's it for the Astro Weather this week. Wish you a beautiful transition into Virgo and the cuspy, Sphinxy Virgo new moon. What's new in my practice? Yeah, we have still the client appreciation month of August is still on, and celebrating 25 years of my astrology practice. So as a client, you get a nice discount, especially if you have been my client for a long time. So yeah, hit me up on that note and I can send you the offer. It's also on my Facebook page. Anyway, a link for that is down below in the show notes. And yeah, if you like this video, this kind of content, let other people know, comment. All of that helps, of course, to for more people see it, so that it can be helpful, right? Virgo again. And yeah, also Medicine Horses are coming up in September. Medicine Horses and Chiron event also on the Facebook page. More about that there. And if you'd like to receive written content, you can sign up for my newsletter that comes out for every new moon and full moon. And of course, the next one for the Cusby Virgo new moon. So yeah, send me an email. All the information about that, how you can take action in that regard, is below here. And I wish you a beautiful Sphinxy week. Cheers.